We turned him home, Canada. He's going to come back alive.
I'll be back.
And with an award in hand.
Yeah, part of it, it turns out, because I lost the lid. Anyway. Good. Yeah. God. That's exactly how I feel, Bruce Poon Tip. So we're here in, we're just on the outskirts of Jaipur with the India conference. First of all, last night, you know, I've been in this business my whole career and I've partied pretty hard, as some of you may or may not know. That was like off the charts. So a couple of questions.
Okay.
One, what was there, like 500 something people there?
Yeah.
And you know what gets lost with the people at these events? Because everybody's out there just tearing it up, and I'll be dropping in B-roll footage so you can see what I mean. But I mean, it was phenomenal. But the amount of effort and planning, I've often wanted to do like a back end documentary on starting from the first meeting in the office, okay, what are we going to do to that? Because I think it would be really interesting to do. But just tell us a bit about that event last night, the planning that went into it, and dare you say it, because I've already pegged the number in my head, how much the whole thing must have cost. And it's a very worthwhile investment, obviously.
Yeah. I don't even know how much it cost, actually. I haven't signed the bills yet, so I won't be able to answer that part. But the planning, I mean, there's planning, and then there's planning in India. Those are two very different things. I mean, there's so many people that were involved in making that happen, locally and, you know, back in Toronto. But, you know, India is a challenge, and to get it to that level took a lot of patience, a lot of time, and even last night when we had the secret tunnel into the after party.
You're taking over a historic fort that's centuries old for a pink party.
Yeah. First of all, there's getting the permission to take over that part. The government permission, first of all, was the first challenge, and then the planning, and then the execution of, you know, what we did. Because if you can see how you kind of walked in, and then there was some stuff covered up, and when you were inside the palace, they opened and created the tunnel, and for the secret after party. That just takes a lot of execution, a lot of planning. And up until yesterday, I went in to just check things out, and they were constructing quickly the tunnel, and you know, all those lights that you saw. And they were yelling and screaming because people were, you know, coming in like 10-15 minutes coming.
Wow.
And they were just, and you know, and we have all these great ideas, but sometimes you can't get people to work as fast as we'd like them to, or you know, just focus on execution. But I mean, we do it every time. It just takes a lot of work. I mean, you were there last year for Peru as well, when they opened up Coincides for us, which is a sacred site.
But you had CNC Music Factory this year. Everybody dance now. It was Hey, so but how many people were there? 500?
Yeah, north of that, with because we had some local guests as well. So it was. I don't know the exact count, but it was. It seemed like just enough. Your DJing skills have been dramatically improved after last night, I think.
Know. Also dropping in dropping in B-roll footage here.
I wasn't going to quite pull that one out. But you know, desperate times.
You probably didn't see me. I was sort of backstage, side stage, filming everything.
Did you have footage of me?
Yeah. I snuck in sort of on backstage crew. I just flashed the badge.
It was too late to ban cameras, I guess.
But it was, so congratulations on that, because it was phenomenal. So
thank you.
So along with all that, you've got these multiple tracks going on with multiple groups. You've got the traditional trade press, which has been the long-standing joke here for the week. But you have travelers. That is a really unique way that you're trying to accomplish different objectives within each track. So just tell us a little bit about that and the planning of that.
Well, the concept last year was about community, right? Like, we're all about community tourism, and we're also about our community of communities, which makes us successful at G, about bringing more people into our community. So the idea of putting GX together was seeing if we can bring all the communities together and create something special, that everyone sees and learns what we do firsthand, but also can celebrate, you know, the beautiful benefits of community tourism. And so you are one of 8 tracks that represent all of our community of communities, and that we want people to be part of our community, because every single one of those communities makes us, it's a part of our success.
Yeah.
And so we want you to understand firsthand, and exactly what we do, and to see firsthand the benefits of what we do. And we want to bring you into our community.
Yeah.
And then we want to bring our communities together. And last year was a crazy experiment, and I didn't know if it was going to work in Peru. And you were there, and it worked.
Yep.
And we were so excited that we were so excited to take those best practices and bring it to India this year.
Yeah.
And luckily, the country here was welcoming. The Ministry of Tourism wanted to bring GX here, and they believe in community tourism and supported us to do it, and opening the palace and making it easy for us to create an incredible event and showcase India as a destination, but also how community tourism impacts lives.
And I mean, for them to participate at the level that they did really redefines their commitment globally, I guess, to tourism and community tourism. So on that note, notwithstanding the birds, because we are in the wilds outside of Jaipur. It's the most beautiful setting here.
Look at the nest.
I know. I'm going to get a shot of that. That's crazy, eh?
It's a
So
good spot.
on that note of community tourism, so I've got to say, I've traveled my whole career. I've been in the travel business for my whole career. This, and I remember I told you yesterday what I wanted to talk about. So we're going to get deep into the mind of Bruce Poon Tip, which could be scary as hell. However, this
perfect day.
I wouldn't say. I don't know what time we all went to bed last night, but it is a vulnerable morning, to say the least. We've got lots of friends that are always asking me about travel and where to go. And after I came back from Peru, I was like, this is a whole new thing for me. Like, I never thought I was going to be hiking around the Andes in Peru at 14,000 feet. Like, that was not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But and the contribution and the whole community tourism piece that is such a integral foundation of the whole G Adventures business. Mm-hmm. But there's this part of when I'm communicating with my friends and they're asking what to do, and I'm just different things to talk, but they can't get their head around it.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember saying last night, like, Bruce Almighty saying, you must do this, and it's almost like you're commanding the consumer to, like, trust me, you have no idea what you're going to be missing. And to be honest, the average consumer out there, I think there would be somewhat suspect of Bruce Almighty saying, trust me, this is going to be great.
I get that.
But I'm living proof of it. And it's funny, Brian Young last night was talking about one of my former bosses indirectly with Chris Motter as he participates in the G-Treks for Planetara. And it changed his life. That's the first time he had done anything like that. So after Peru, it happened to me like that. So I guess what I'm getting at is how are you going to convey this messaging for younger travelers, I guess, and also the 55 plus, because I think that's one of your largest growth markets. Mm-hmm. Getting to those people and converting them up front, just to say, just try it, because you're not going to believe what's going to happen to you. Because it's getting to the point where I don't even think beach vacations for me are going to do it anymore. Yeah. So there's that piece. That's one question. I'll make a note to come back to this. But then there's also the financial contribution that comes from the components of the vacation and the experience that you guys are providing, and that's really the community tourism piece, right? That's contributing. So those are the two things. How are you going to get these people to trust me?
Well, I mean, that's really another reason why GX was created. Because it is complex. What we offer is a complex understanding of travel, because it's outside of the norm. It's outside of how we're conditioned. Because mainstream options for travel are ingrained in our psyche. But I mean, that's why we need travel professionals. That's why we need travel industry more than most companies do, and that's why we need to get people here. That's why Change Makers, which is all travel agents, is the largest track here.
Yeah. How many are here for that?
It's over 100.
Okay.
From globally, and we're looking to expand that considerably next year, because they can see firsthand and they can go back and tell these stories to their customers because we can only say so much. We can only train them, travel industry so much. I can only get up on so many stages, like I've been doing for 30 years.
Bring in so many musical acts.
But really, travel professionals for us, they're our voice. We don't get to sit in front of our customers, rarely ever. I mean, even with the customers that they don't come into our offices, and so travel professionals have that opportunity for us, and so that's one way to get our message across. But I've done so many things. I mean, I've been trying to get this message across for so long. I did a documentary. I wrote 2 books. I mean, what more could I do? I almost do 20 speaking engagements a year all over the world. To risk my health not speaking all over the world all the time.
It's funny, I had a similar discussion with Harry Sommer, who's the president and CEO of NCL Holdings, last week actually in Venice, if you can believe that. And his response to a similar question was converting people that have this vision of cruising as this mass, get on ships and buffets, and they've got a whole new line of ships that are completely different. But his response was very similar. And in the end, he pretty much said, we rely on word of mouth because we're that good.
Well, word of mouth is a big part of it as well. And so when we can, create this experience here with 400 or 500 people we bring to GX. And we just encourage everyone to go back. The best thing you can do for sustainability is talk about it when you go home. It's the storytelling when you get home, and how it made you feel. Not just, I did this, I did that, but it just made me feel amazing. Like I just had, and that's what travel should be.
And you've got, with Planetera, which is a wonderful foundation, you got this target of 300 projects. If I remember correctly, you're at 160 now en route. And Planetera is you go in with an investment for startups or existing businesses in destinations that are looking for support. But then the cool piece to it, I think, is unknowingly, in some instances, like with the Salambalak city walks and even going into Shiros, unknowingly your travelers coming to India and to Peru and to different destinations, they're taking part in the component of their package of which, so then it becomes a supplier-client relationship, really. Right? And so that's how unknowingly they're making a big contribution. So just tell us a bit about that and how much, how important that is to your entire philosophy.
I mean, it's really important. I mean, our partners and our community projects is really the model that we've been trying to prove for 34 years, that when extreme poverty intersects tourism, tourism can bring marginalized communities into the tourism economy and uplift communities by people being on holidays. That's the magic. That's the model that we've been, we started back in 1996 with our first, we started in 1990, but our first projects were in 1996. And now, people listen to us a lot more now. Like in our first 15 years of, being in existence, we were kind of, on the outside, screaming on the outside of the travel industry. And now people listen to us a little more. So that's, but I mean, it's a big part of it. The relationship with that our customers have, but I have to say, really, we have found that there's really only 80% of our customers that actually really care, believe it or not. There's 20% of our customers, or even sometimes 30% of our customers, that just see us as a holiday company. It's just cool trips. They don't even, and they don't know
they don't know that they're contributing that. But that's what I'm saying, unknowingly.
The dates worked. We had a sale of a trip, or their friends are going, so they're joining them. And then when we get them on the ground, some of them we can convert, but others just think it's a holiday. And that's fine. But we want to convert as many people. And our message since the first year of starting G Adventures is, if you can't travel with us, travel like us. Because what we want to do is make tourism a transformational experience for everybody, not just the traveler. Not have that one-way conversation where the traveler is paramount and the only thing that matters, which we are trained to do in the travel industry, to just take care of our customers. But a customer can have a much more enriching experience and a much more transformational experience if they can see firsthand the positive impacts that they've left after the holiday. And
you continue to innovate as well with new product lines. So yesterday you announced the Solo-ish product line, small group travelers with departures, I think over 25 countries set,
Yes.
with small group, but for single travelers.
Yes.
That we posted that yesterday immediately when it was announced, which may be the reason we received the award last night for hot off the press.
But you didn't even know what you got. You just came up. What did I hear my name?
I heard my name to come on stage, so I did it immediately. Again, shouldn't shock anybody, but that's just a proof of your innovation, right? So
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
anything on that? Anything on that?
Oh, I mean, so much goes into for us for creating product. I mean, this is actually another good point about just what we do. Creating product traditionally has also been a one-way conversation for tour operators. They just create products, and then they enforce their will in these destinations where they don't even know if local people want them there. If they're not benefiting from you being there, they actually don't want you there.
Yeah.
So when we decide we want to put product out, there's a dialogue between communities, dialogue with local countries, finding the best ways in which we can deliver unique and innovative product. I mean, today G Adventures, we're really motivated by doing cool stuff, like stuff that nobody's ever done before.
Yeah.
And last year, G-Lux, for instance, when we launched that, it's been amazing how no one thought of it, and it's just been so successful. Our fastest product launch in 34 years, and Soloish is just that too. We spend so much time thinking about not just the customer, but the local community that you're going to be visiting, and how to create that symbiotic experience between customer and local, and how to deliver that the best.
Yeah.
For whatever demographic, and it's it's kind of our secret sauce. I'm not going to tell you here.
Yeah.
And but I mean, like for instance, the all-female CEOs. I mean,
I was just going to mention
that was a big part of it. That was a huge move for us, because countries like Egypt and even India, it's for us to be able to scale, because it's not accepted for women to be working in a lot of countries, let alone being roaming around with travelers.
Yeah.
So in order for us to deliver that, we have our own challenges, but we feel it's the best product for the time and for our customers, and will benefit the most people.
Well, based on the feedback and the comments that we got from that post, from travel advisors that are our followers, it was just a constant, can't wait to hear more about this. This is so cool.
Oh,
loving this. So it's been
I'm in
really
a bubble
good.
here. I'm in a bubble of GX. I haven't seen any of that yet.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a bubble too. Although after last night, I don't know how your hearing is.
I know.
We both can't hear each other or speak properly. So.
I was ringing this morning, I have to say.
Yeah, and so and I'll close with this, because on a 35th anniversary, which in itself is remarkable, but you're going off the hook next year.
Yeah.
You announced Jordan as your GX destination for next year.
Huge.
You say you're going to double the size of it. So you may rethink that after you determine what the cost for this were. But just a bit about that, because that'll be remarkable. I mean, going to Petra with that many people. I mean, if you have some whacked out band in front of the setting in Petra.
Don't give away.
I'm not giving anything away.
I
got to assume, how are you going to be on top of a fort? Like one of the oldest forts in India with a pink party.
Well, last year you were at Coricancha in Peru. They opened a historic ruin just for us, which hadn't been open since the 70s.
That's true.
And you were saying, Bruce, how are you going to top this?
Yeah, very true.
And we did.
Yeah.
And actually, it's not about topping, actually. I don't want to get into that.
No, I don't
But I
mean
think
about
we
that.
can. I'll just say that. But Jordan's going to be a unique destination for us and a challenge for us for sure. But we're very excited about it.
All right.
We're very excited about working with the government there and the Ministry of Tourism. They've put an amazing bid forward. It was a long shot bid actually when they came in. I coincidentally was in Jordan in June with my family, and Jordan blew me away actually, and that's hard to do with me in travel these days. And their bid, my visit and their bid was separate. And I hope you'll be there.
I hope so too.
Someone has to pick up the award if you're gonna
if I'm trigger happy enough. Anyway, all right. Listen, you got a busy day ahead of you. Excuse me. So we appreciate the time. First of all, we appreciate the invite.
Thank you.
It's so great to see so many travel advisors here, to see them so engaged.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you.
Really, really well done. We appreciate the time speaking with us this morning.
Thank you.
Because I know I went to bed at 2:45.
Yeah.
In fairness. So It's 9:30. We started, and I think we've done pretty good. So.
I'll return him home, Canada. He's going to come back alive.
I'll be back.
And with an award in hand.
Yeah, part of it turns out, because I lost the lid. Anyway, all right. Thanks very much, Bruce. Thanks very much for your continued support, everybody. We look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Okay.